that exists but can't be seen. It is the united hope of the future. Let's celebrate unity and connection.
Malaika Munshi, and I am a 19-year-old fashion promotion student studying in London, but I'm also based in Dubai, so I'm like back and forth, and I'm also an artist. So what I do is I'm a photographer, more specifically fashion photographer, creative director, stylist, painter, videographer. Like, there's a lot of things that I do, but I feel like nowadays as an artist you have to be versatile and flexible and able to do more than just one thing. So yeah, when people ask me what I do, there's just so many things to say, but I usually go with like fashion promoter or like photographer and stylist, because that's like what I've been doing the most recently. I started making art from like as early as I can remember. I was probably like 4 or 5, and like all I wanted to do was draw. I didn't want to really play with toys as much as I wanted to make art. So I started art classes out of like as an extracurricular, and I started learning how to paint with acrylics, and since then I haven't stopped painting. Like, my painting continues to improve and elevate, and I just love it, and it's a form of therapy for me. But being as like I nowadays, people are so busy that like a lot of stress catches up, and like life just seems to like go by, and there's no time to like have for yourself to just make art. Especially that I study an artistically driven course, like it's creative, so a lot of the time the work I'm creating is for uni rather than like for myself. And when I find the time to do a personal project, it's so much more special than it ever was, because I know that I'm doing it for me, and I'm not following any brief or any rules. Like, it's just for my own expression, and that's what I love so much about like working on art for myself. So with this concept today, I'm going to show you how to create without planning. A lot of people are perfectionists and put too much pressure on themselves when it comes to creating art. And I know I've been in the position before where like you want to make something, but you don't really know what you're gonna make, and you end up just like feeling so stressed and anxious that like it's not gonna be as good as you turned out, and you just spend so much time thinking about what you're gonna make, how you're gonna make, what kind of process you're going through, that it makes it not fun, if that makes sense. Like, it makes it not relaxing or whatever. So what I want to do is try and change that way of thinking that you may or may not have, and show you that you don't always have to create knowing what the outcome is going to be. You have the opportunity to just create for yourself and to free your mind basically, and like express how you feel physically onto a paper. And I think it's just like the most like freeing way of like expressing emotions personally. So I hope that you guys experience this from today's class. I don't really want to call it a class, because I don't believe that art can be, like taught, especially like in a situation like this. I feel like art is definitely subjective, and you don't have to be visually good at art to be an artist. Like, if you think you're an artist, you're an artist. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? You don't need to be able to draw really well or paint or etc. Like, art is subjective, and if you want to be an artist, you're an artist. Like, that's literally it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go through today. So first thing, before we start, I'm just gonna talk about the kind of music I like to listen to when I just want to make some art and relieve my stress, or just like feel more free and express myself. So obviously music is very influential when you're creating, especially if the music has a mood. If the music has lyrics, then obviously it's clear whether the lyrics are positive or negative, and if it's gonna make you happier or sad or angry or etc. Like a bunch of different emotions can come from just the music you're listening to. And because I don't really want the music I'm listening to influence my creativity during this kind of art, because I'm just doing it to release my emotions rather than like have a planned outcome, I listen to lo-fi. I think it's just really good vibes. It makes me feel like good and positive, and like I just want to paint or draw, and like it's very free flowing. So that's why I like to listen to lo-fi when I do this kind of thing. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna talk you through this short meditation kind of exercise. So for today's class or workshop or whatever, this paint with me session, I'm going to talk about what materials I'm personally using. I have a A3 sketchbook, so I just have a plain paper, and I'm using I'm using watercolors. You can use whatever you want, like it doesn't have to be watercolors. I just like watercolors because they're just fun. I also have some like markers, some pencils, and some paintbrushes. You can use literally anything. Even if you don't have any art supplies, you could use like a pen. Like it's literally, it's up to you. Yeah, so that's what I'm using, and I also have a cup of water for my paint. So I'm gonna talk you through this like guided like short meditation, and basically the exercise is called Where I'd Rather Be. So I'm gonna ask everyone to close their eyes, but not yet. When you close your eyes, I want you to ask yourself, where would I rather be? So given the current situation we're in, this kind of fits well. I'm sure there's a lot of places we'd all rather be, but I don't want this to be about a physical place, but more of like an abstract, like it doesn't have to be something real life. It could be extraterrestrial. It could be just colors and shapes and textures and smells. Like it doesn't have to be real. So I want everybody now to please close your eyes. And now you're gonna question yourself. Where would I rather be? What does it smell like? What colors do I see? What shapes do I see? What textures do I see? Is it smooth and silky, or is it rough? Are the shapes geometric, or are they free-flowing? Is there anything there, or is it just surface? Like where would I rather be? What do I see? What do I hear? What do I smell? How do I feel while I'm there? Everybody open your eyes. I hope you got a mental note of where you'd rather be, and that's what we're gonna be creating. So I'm gonna share with you what I saw, but I don't want you guys to like copy what I saw, because that's what the mental picture that I pictured, and hopefully you all saw something, or even if it was just one color or like one texture, like that's cool. So I saw like kind of like a free flowing blue and green wave, like a wavy hill kind of texture. It was smooth. And I saw like bright light coming behind that hill. It was very like extraterrestrial, like intergalactic. So I'm gonna start off painting that hill, and everybody start off with the first color that you saw in your vision. And yeah, don't stress, it's literally just about getting your emotions onto the paper. Like, it's not about painting something perfect, because that doesn't exist, you know what I mean? Like, it's just about feeling what you're painting rather than, like, am I making sense? If you're not painting, sorry if I'm saying painting, but whatever you're using to create, pick up the color that you first saw in your vision and just have fun. So I'm going in with my green watercolor. And now I'm going in with my blue. And this exercise is so versatile. Like, you can take as long as you need, or as you could do this as quick as you want. It's really just about, you know, how you feel about yourself while doing this. Think of it as self-care, the same way you would see a face mask and a bubble bath. This is the same concept. You know, you're trying to do this for yourself to just feel good, happy vibes. Especially being at home during quarantine, if you're watching this and you're still in quarantine, it can be overwhelming, and you can also have this common feeling of like being useless and hopeless and helpless. During the beginning of quarantine, I really felt like, because my life constantly revolves around like uni, or it's been school in the past, and I'm constantly like working towards deadlines, or like trying to work hard and meet my goals, and then obviously during quarantine those goals suddenly aren't there because like uni stopped or school has stopped, etc. So like I used to feel so useless, like what am I gonna do all day now that I don't have uni, or now that I don't have any work that's been given to me, and I just feel so useless, because the only way I can perceive myself as successful is constantly being productive and working hard, when realistically that's not true. Like, your self-worth isn't defined by how hard you are working, you know what I mean? Like, we all deserve rest, and I think that this is the perfect time to give yourself and your brain and your body that rest that it needs. So if you find yourself putting too much pressure on yourself for not working hard enough during quarantine, I totally feel that, especially when you see others using this time so effectively. Like on Instagram, you see people are doing so much, they're doing the most, and they're finding like really good things to do to occupy their time, and like it's amazing to see, but it can also be overwhelming, and you can find yourself comparing yourself to others and see like, oh, how come like they're doing all this and I'm like not doing anything, I'm just like laying in bed all day and I'm so tired, like why am I so tired if I didn't do anything? You know, it's really normal to feel like that, and no matter where you are or what you do, everyone's gonna feel like that. And you just need to remind yourself that there's literally a worldwide pandemic, and like as long as you're healthy and you're safe and you know all of that, it doesn't really matter if you're being unproductive. Like, you have the chance to just relax. So don't be hard on yourself, and give your body and mind and soul the time to relax, because you deserve it. And yeah, back to my point of art being subjective. As an artist, when people see my work, they're always like, oh my god, you're so good, like I would never be able to paint as good as you, or I would never be able to be as good as you. And I don't think that that's the right mindset. You have to manifest and believe in yourself, and I believe that whatever you speak into existence will happen, whether it's positive or negative, which is why manifestation is so important. Instead of comparing yourself to someone, for example, a really good painter, being like, I'd never be able to paint as good as them, you should say, one day I'll be able to paint as good as them. And truly it works. Like, it doesn't happen overnight, and definitely not in a week or two, but these things do happen over time. So speak positively on where you'd rather be and the future you see for yourself and your goals. And a lot of people say to me that, oh, you're so young, like you're so talented for your age, blah 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 blah, like how do you do it? And it was really hard for me, especially in high school. Like, a lot of people were envious of my successes because I was doing a lot more than the average like 15-16-year-old when it came to like the creative industry. Like I did have quite a lot of things going on outside of school, and it's natural for young teenagers to be jealous of someone who is the same age as them, but like doing, like being successful. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm like so successful like that. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just like talking about my experience. And people are envious for sure. And if you are someone who is doing something good for themselves and the people around you are envious, all I can say is, don't surround yourself with people like that. If they're envious of you instead of being happy for you, they don't need to be in your life. Especially if you're young, if you're like 16 or like 15, which is how old I was when I started doing industry related things. Just know that what you're doing, as long as you know you're doing a good thing, that's all that matters. Like, you need to try and forget about other people's opinions, because at the end of the day, it's your hard work that's going to be worth it in the end. Sorry for like the story time or rant. I just want to, a lot of people come to me and they tell me like these things, and like I realize that like I've experienced the same, so I feel like I should talk about it. And yeah, as a creative person, you just have to believe in yourself, and I truly believe in the concept, fake it till you make it. Sorry, I forgot to talk you through what I'm painting. But anyways, I've just been using all the blues and the greens in my palette, and I've just kind of been drawing like free flowing shapes. I'm not going to show you what I've done until the end, so we can all show each other. Yeah, this is not a class. This is more like a paint with me or hang out with me. I forgot what I was talking about. Sorry. Okay, so as we are painting where we'd rather be, this is about teaching you how art can create an escape for you, and how, if you feel like there's no other way to express your emotions and you don't have physical people to express to, which is totally fine, like you can free your mind basically by creating. And if you haven't tried it, I definitely recommend. If you I don't know if any of you have heard of free writing, but that's basically when you get a piece of paper and a pen and you give yourself like a timer of like 1 minute, and you literally just write anything that comes to your brain. It doesn't matter if the sentences don't make sense or if the words don't flow together. It's just like about getting everything in your thoughts onto the paper, kind of like word vomit. And it's very relieving, like extremely. It makes me feel so good when I do it. And I realize, like every time I do it and I think I'm like experiencing like a really bad problem or something like that, or like a stressful moment, as soon as those thoughts are onto the paper, I realize it's really not as bad as I thought, and that my brain was just turning into something way bigger than it needed to be. So free writing is a really good thing to do. And I consider this what I've explained to you guys about where I'd rather be and how you should just paint without thinking. That's the same to me as free writing, so I would call it like free painting. Can we make that a term? Free painting. You heard it first here. You heard it here first. So yeah, what we're all doing right now, if you're painting or drawing or whatever, let's call it free creating. It's the same concept as free writing, and it's basically getting those thoughts onto the paper and physically out of your mind and body, so that it should leave this like weight from you once you see it all on the paper, whether it's words or a painting or a drawing or doodles, like whatever it is. You should feel the same relief that you feel when you do free writing. So yeah, free creating, that's what we're gonna call it, or free painting. And yeah, there's really no rules when it comes to this, because as I said, art is subjective and you can stop whenever you think you need to stop, or you can keep painting or drawing, like it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking for like maybe 5-10 minutes so we can just vibe out to some music, and yeah. Okay, now that you've been painting for should be 15 minutes or creating, we're gonna do the where I'd rather be vision again, just so that you can get a more clearer picture of what you're seeing, just in case you need a little refresh. So everybody close your eyes again. Take a deep breath in. Where would I rather be? What colors do I see? What textures do I feel? What shapes do I see? What do I smell? Take a mental picture and open your eyes. So this time I saw the same color scheme, blue, green, a little bit of yellow this time. And instead of the waves, I actually saw more of cloud formations. So I'm gonna add that into my piece. Remember, don't put any pressure on yourself, please. This is about relaxation and not about what you're creating. So I'm pretty happy with how far my paintings come, and now what I'm gonna do is switch medium just to add a bit more texture to it. So I'm gonna go in with, I have a gray pen, a black pen, a black marker, and I'm just gonna alternate between those to add some texture into my piece. This is optional if you don't want to switch medium and you're comfortable adding onto your painting, that's cool. Personally, I'm a quick painter, so I've kind of filled my page already, and now I just want to add my little accents, so that's what I'm gonna do. thicker marker now to make some more defined lines. I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope you feel relaxed and you're having a good time, you know, good vibes. I hope this hasn't been boring. It's really just about giving your mind like the second to just relax and not think about anything else. Just like let it be, because I'm sure everyone needs to feel like that sometimes. And I think I'm done with my piece. I like don't want to rush anyone, so like if you aren't done yet, that's totally cool. Like feel free to continue you know, creating. I'm just like I'm not rushing, but like I kind of do things quickly, even if they like I have no intention of what the outcome's gonna be. So now I'm gonna show you guys what I created in this exercise and talk a little about it to you. So painting reveal. This is what I made. I hope you can see clearly. So basically, obviously I went with the blue and the green color scheme that I saw in my first can you see me, guys? My first vision. And then in my second vision, I saw these like cloudy looking things. So I started like painting in circular motions because like that's the kind of feeling I felt. And then when I went in with the pen and the marker and I started like outlining, they ended up looking like flowers. So that's cool. Hope you guys can see this clearly. So yeah, that's my piece. And I really want to see if you followed along. Please DM me a picture of what you created because I would really love to see. That would make my day. My Instagram is @weary, WWEARY. Did I say that? @weary, basically 2 W's at the beginning. Please DM me a picture. I'd love to see. And I hope that you took something positive from this session, whether it was just some tips or just happy vibes. Wishing you all a blessed Friday ahead. Have a really nice day, and thank you so much for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram @weary, and you can see what other work I do over there. Bye!